it's canceled, it's over, we're not doing it. Good luck kind of thing. Hello, so I wanted to make a video talking about everything that was going on with our festival, Dreamers and Readers, and I also really wanted to do my nails because I haven't done my nails in a while, and I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone? I haven't been doing my nails because I injured my nail and I wanted to make sure that it was healed before I did my nails again, but then I haven't been doing my nails because I haven't been able to justify not crocheting for like an hour to do them, if that makes sense. So I figured if I'm filming a video, then that's justification enough. So I thought I would talk. I tried filming this video before and it just didn't turn out to be a very good video, so I wanted to redo it. But I wanted to talk about Dreamers and Readers. So the Dreamers and Readers festival, or was it a festival? I think that's what they called it, Dreamers and Readers event, was supposed to be our biggest event of the year. It's definitely our most expensive event we ever signed up for. And I have been, like, I was so excited when I got accepted. I literally think I cried a little. And I have been prepping for this specific event for months. And I've been trying to write a book, and my husband was even like, you've got to stop writing so you can like prep for Dreamers and Readers, because we had a lot of money, sunk into the booth fee, and there was a lot of events that we didn't sign up for because we knew we were having Dreamers and Readers too close to it. And I didn't want to like overextend myself or make it to where like I could not make enough product, if that makes sense. So we straight up did not apply to a lot of events. Like even one of our best events that we did last year, I didn't apply to because it was too close to Dreamers and Readers, and I didn't want to do that to myself. In case anyone's curious, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm doing as I go, because these press-on nails actually last really well on me, and I haven't got my nails done at the salon in like years because I do this. But if I don't do my nails, I end up like, I don't know, I guess I pick at my cuticles or something, because if I have nails on, it doesn't happen. But if I don't have nails on, my cuticles get all like ripped up, and it actually becomes really problematic for crocheting, because then my like fingers are really sensitive and they kind of hurt, and that makes it more difficult to crochet. So I really like to have my nails done because it actually, in a backwards way, makes it easier to crochet, because then my, fingers stay healthier. Maybe it's also because I'm like doing more to like take care of them, whereas if I don't have nails on, I like kind of just ignore them. So first I put on cuticle remover. Anyways, back to Dreamers and Readers. Yeah, so I didn't apply to events, and I literally stopped other projects that I was like, writing my book that I was getting really good progress on. Like I think I had written like 20,000 words over the break I was taking around Christmas time, after our last market around Christmas time. And I was really getting into it and getting a lot of momentum. But then, like I said, my husband even had to like be like, you need to stop writing to focus on this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I literally put it away because I'm sure a lot of us are like this, but I am very all or nothing. Like my friend always used to describe it as go big or go home. And so I'm very bad. I'm trying to get better about doing a little bit of everything. I tend to like jump fully into one thing at a time. And that's not a great quality, especially when you have a lot of irons in the fire. So anyways, I had to put the book away because that's all I was focusing on. And I haven't written on it in a couple of months because I needed to focus on Dreamers and Readers. And I crocheted so much, and I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a video about everything that I crocheted in the past couple months for Dreamers and Readers. But I actually crocheted so much, and I don't recommend this, but I actually almost gave myself an injury. Like I was crocheting past the point of of pain, I guess, like my body telling me to stop, but I was like pushing through because I was so, you know, worried about not having enough and not having the right kind of stuff, because this was going to be the first event like this that I'd been to. So I actually kind of gave myself an injury. Like, I crocheted to the point where my arm was aching, like the entire thing, not just like my hands or my wrists where I need to stretch them out, but like my entire arm was aching, and I had to like stop crocheting for a whole like couple days, and it still would hurt like the whole next day. So yeah, like I was really seriously, you know, trying to have a good showing for when we went to Dreamers and Readers. Anyways, I should have mentioned what Dreamers and Readers was. So we're used to doing like these outdoor festivals. Like we do a lot of like small town festivals, if that makes sense. We've done like mall markets and 4th of July type festivals, or like, you know, Memorial Day, stuff like that. Is kind of what we're used to doing. Different art festivals and stuff. This was going to be very unique. And I've mentioned that I'm writing a book and I love to read. And this festival was essentially Dreamers and Readers was for readers, and like a lot, like half of the vendors were supposed to be artists. No, sorry. Half the vendors were supposed to be authors. Who, you know, like wrote their own books, obviously. And they were literally going to be there selling their books. And so it was almost like Comic-Con for readers. So there was like a whole, I think they called it like an exhibit hall, where all the vendors and authors and everything would be during the day. But then they also had these like, they had cosplayers that were coming, and they were supposed to be, I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be specifically portraying certain characters from like, you know, really popular books. Specifically, I think like the underlying current was like romantasy, definitely like heavily fantasy books. There were people scheduled to be there that were like cosplaying as those characters. They had like different like Fey high teas, I think it was, that you could like buy a ticket to during the day, and literally like you're supposed to like dress up and go and be around all these other people who are dressed up and like-minded people who like the same kind of things, and like literally step into your fantasy, step into your like fantasy book, if that makes sense. And at night, every night of the festival, they were having fantasy balls where you literally had to like I think they even said it was like black, like fantasy black tie. So like definitely you had to like dress up to like go to the ball, but like you're not supposed to dress up like a wedding guest. You're supposed to dress up like, you know, fantasy. So like you know, at other events that they've put on, I was looking at pictures and stuff, and like people would be, you know, having fairy wings or like fey ears or chainmail or like different things like this, right? Like, so essentially like your favorite like fantasy type book, and you just get to like, I don't know, yeah, step into your book fantasy for a weekend. I was like so excited about this. I was so excited to attend it. I was going to go to one of the balls. Like all the authors and vendors were able to pick one ball to attend for free. And I was like, I don't know, I was really excited to do that. I was excited to vend there. I was excited to like meet all the people and, you know, see like new authors and like, you know, buy some books. And like, I was really excited to immerse myself in that weekend. Not to mention, like, I was excited for the business. Like, I had thrown out most of what I've been doing for my local markets, and I was specifically buying a bunch of new patterns and dedicating myself to like focus on new patterns that I thought would do well with this like fantasy reader crowd, if that makes sense. I think I was actually one of the later people to sign up. I've known about it, and I've been like planning on this and prepping for this for months, probably, I don't know, 6+ months. But I know there are people who literally were like buying tickets or maybe even applying or whatever. But I saw some people saying that they bought their tickets like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago or something crazy like that, that they've really been planning on this and everything. We are at this point about 3 weeks away from when it was supposed to begin. A lot of people were coming from out of state. There were even some people, I believe, that were coming from out of the country that had to buy plane tickets or, and hotel rooms and possibly even rental cars. And there was a lot of people who had to ship their merchandise here ahead of them coming so that way they could actually sell, like ship their books here and stuff. And not to mention, like I said, I didn't book other events because this was supposed to be this really big event for me. And I know other people did the same thing. And then they also had, like I said, they had like cosplayers, but they also had like influencers who spent their time already, making content for this event. And they did such good work and they made so much content. And they spent so much of their time where they could have been having deals with other people or promoting other things or whatever. And they've already spent a lot of work and time and everything on that. So what I'm trying to say is this really affected a lot of people. I think there were like 400 vendors, on the actual like spreadsheet that I, was looking at. And then when you also factor in the cosplayers, the influencers, like Bookstagram, BookTok, BookTube type people who were spending their time talking about this event and promoting this event and everything. Like there's a lot of people involved. This was supposed to be at the Gaylord Texan, which is like a really, really fancy resort here in Texas. A couple nights ago, literally at night, I'm on Instagram and I see a post from the organizer. And they post a lot. Like I thought they were doing a really good job of like promoting the event and everything. But I saw a post from them and it said that the event was canceled. And at first I literally thought it was like a joke. And I was like, well, that's not very funny. And then I saw that it was like what looked to be from their account. And I was like, and my next immediate reaction was, it's a scam, right? Like it's like, I don't get it. Like it's some kind of scam. And then I went to my emails and I saw that they had emailed me that night and that it was true. It was canceled with like 3 weeks until the event. We were lucky because we were local enough that we only had like hotel rooms booked. We didn't have flights booked. I didn't have product shipped, or anything like that. We didn't have rental cars booked or anything. So we were definitely less scathed than other people who had international flights or even, just non-refundable flights or, like I said, shipped their products over already and stuff. So like we were definitely less scathed than other people, but it was still like really gut-wrenching to see that, the thing that I had put other projects on hold. I had not applied to, other really good markets. I had literally made stuff that I don't know if my products that I made for Dreamers and Readers is gonna do well at my normal markets. But yeah, so apparently the reason they gave for canceling the event was that they said they had a contractual obligation to the Gaylord Texan to book a certain number of the room block, and they did not meet that obligation. So they said they would have had to pay, I guess, like what I'm assuming was like a fee. And I don't remember if they said it, but the implication was that they either couldn't pay that fee or it wouldn't be financially like good for them to pay that fee. Like maybe they wouldn't make enough money off the event to warrant that or whatever. And it just seems really weird to me because there was like 400 vendors. Like that's what their spreadsheet went up to. It was $400 to book a table. And then you also have like the tickets of the attendees. And I think they said there was like 2,000 tickets pre-sold or something like that. So obviously I don't know how much, like how expensive the Gaylord was, but it's very shocking to me that it wouldn't have been financially beneficial to them to at least still hold the event. And I think where everyone was like the most upset was that they knew that this was coming. They knew the percentage of their hotel block that they did or didn't have booked, and they never said anything to any of the attending vendors or authors until it was just, it's canceled, it's over, we're not doing it. Good luck kind of thing. And if they had been like, if the communication should have been much better. I have seen some people saying like, you know, well, they shouldn't have counted on, or I guess like spent money that wasn't really theirs yet. So like I've seen other organizers probably worried because they're in a similar field and they don't want to be like associated with this, as they called it, like shady business practice, where they just kind of pulled the rug out from under everybody at the, you know, kind of last minute. And how can you, you know, book with something like that in the future when it was like such a bad, to some people, ruining experience this time? Like, so I don't know, I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but from what this other event company that again holds like bookish kind of like very similar events, what they were saying was they took out a loan, like a business loan. So when they would pay the event space, it would be out of that money, and they weren't counting on the money from like the vendors and the attendees to be able to pay that, because you can't guarantee, you can't count on that money until you're providing the event, I guess is kind of what they were saying. I don't really know about all of that, but I will say, as a vendor who doesn't really know the ins and outs of how organizers and events do everything for events like these, I meant the event spaces, like the organizers and the event spaces. I don't really know how all of that works because I'm not an organizer. It would have at least been a lot better to, in my opinion, to talk to us. Like we had open lines of communication, like we had emails obviously, but we were also all in a vendor and author only Facebook group. So like they could have been talking to us like, hey guys, we're, you know, running into an issue, like here's what's going on, like, and we could have like been pushing the room blocks harder, or like, you know, we could have, I don't know, I feel like we could have done something instead of just at the last minute being like, never mind, we're just canceling the whole event, and like no warning to us. Like, or if there was even the chance that that was going to happen, I feel like they should have been telling us a long time ago, like, hey, we're having an issue with this, just so you know, if we can't figure out a way, like, so that way people can plan, you know, and people can figure stuff out. They did say they're going to be refunding all of the vendors for their booth space, obviously, because they're not holding their end of the bargain. I don't know what they're doing for the attendees. I don't know if they're refunding prepaid attendees, or if they're just saying you can go to one of our other bookish events or something. I don't know, because I didn't have those kinds of tickets. I did see that some attendees were upset because they did not get an email or anything about it. Apparently the like ticket system that they were using was supposed to send out an email to everyone, but it hadn't yet. It's just, yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Obviously, there's people had a lot more into it than just booth fee or the ticket to the actual ball or whatever. Like there's also people who spent a lot of money on like gowns and stuff, because like I said, they were like planning on attending fantasy balls and have spent a lot of time making like, you know, essentially like costumes and stuff. So there's a lot of disappointment going around right now. But I will say there is something really cool that's happening because of this, if that makes sense. So I just kind of thought, like, when I read all that, I assumed it was like, well, it's kind of like when I'm in a market and, they're just pouring rain the whole time. Like, this, I guess, is just something that you have to live with or something. Like, once in a while, something like this is going to happen. I will say I've been doing this for like almost 3 years now, and nothing like this has ever happened. Like, we've had to move events because of the weather or cancel events because of the weather, but you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. But like, something like this that was indoors, that was supposed to be guaranteed. Like, it's very bizarre. Something interesting has come out of it. So some creators, and I'll link them down below, like Whimsy Forge and Bookish and Blissful on Instagram, are doing some really cool stuff. So they compiled a list of all the affected people, right? So vendors, authors, influencers, cosplayers, like the people who were supposed to be like a business at this event and are negatively affected by this. They not only are trying to like do some social media stuff to like, help each other out on social media, because of this, is part of most people's businesses in 2026. But they're also actually, and I need to like look into this more because I'm really bad at like, staying up on different group chat type things, but it looks like they're trying to get together and somehow host an event like this. So it would be over the same weekends. Like I said, a lot of people have like hotels and flights that they can't get out of. So since they're already, and some people have already sent their merchandise and everything, they're trying to find a location to where we could still at least all get together. And even though they're obviously not going to be offering like the same caliber of like services, like they're, not going to be having like high tea and, stuff like that, they are still trying to offer like everyone to get together, people to set up their vendors, like, the bookish community to still like get together and have something cool come out of this. And I just think that is so cool and beyond what anything like I was expecting. And I'm like blown away at how people are coming together, in this time, and like really trying to like help each other out, when I just thought we'd all just kind of retreat to our corners and be like, wow, and kind of take it on the chin and okay, well that happened, move on to the next thing, I guess. Like, it's really amazing what these creators and businesses and authors and everything are trying to do, and like try to still make something like positive come out of this. And I think that is so cool. And I'm so excited. So when I know more about what's going on there, I will definitely let you know. Whimsy Forge, I know, was one of the people trying to like, I don't know if it was them, but they're the ones who shared it with me, that they compiled group chat, for lack of a better word, of all the, affected people, so we can all talk and try to figure out how to not only support each other, but like what we can do, and if we can still like make something happen. They compiled a list of all the people so we can all like kind of follow each other, and if there's a way we can support. Bookish and Blissful actually reached out to me, and I have to message her back, but like her message was just so sweet. I was like so taken aback. She was saying that she actually wanted to see some of my merchandise that I had made for the market, because she has like this book retreat that she goes on, and she would like to support me, by buying some of this, something that I had made for the market for her book retreat. And I'm like, that, like, the way the community is coming together is just like, it's really like inspiring and not at all anything I expected to happen. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I am so happy at the prospect of still being able to like everyone get together, meet everyone, and make something like positive come out of a really crummy situation. That is all I had for today's video, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I really appreciate all the people actually, stepping up to try to do something and being so kind in this time where everything has been so chaotic and unprecedented for all of us. And yeah, like it was like really gut-wrenching to find out that, you know, this happened and all the, you know, everything that that implies. Like the time wasted, the projects, you know, put aside, the opportunities missed, the money spent, the, you know, all of the things. And for something like really cool to come out of it, like that's more than I expected by far. But yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you, and you know, to all the people who are trying to make something happen and how much I appreciate it. And I will make sure I try to link below what I can to other creators, so and businesses and authors and everything, so that way if you guys, you know, can support by liking them and following them and stuff, I know that would mean a lot. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really good day, and until next time. Okay, real quick, I just didn't want to leave you hanging. Just wanted to show you how my nails came out. So here they are. So this is the Glamnetic nails. I have actually been into short nails, so these are pretty long compared to like what I've actually been liking lately, but I think they're cute. I bought these a long time ago and I didn't want to just waste them, so I decided to put them on. I think they're cute. They turned out well. Yep, so there they are. That's the finished nails. But anyways, thank you for joining me in this kind of sad story time, but I'm really excited to be, you know, starting off this YouTube channel. I want to, you know, really start making this more part of my business, and I'm really excited to see what all the creators and everything are, the authors and vendors and everything are going to get together and make happen here in a few weeks. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you next time.